Hey y'all, so you want to be a travel nurse but you have no clue how to? Don't worry. In this video, I'm going to cover the 7 steps on becoming a travel nurse. So let's get right into it. Alright, so step number 1, it is become an RN and gain experience. I know that's considered a given, but honestly, some people are a little bit confused when it comes to the experience needed for a travel nurse. In order to become a travel nurse, you need at least minimum 1 year of experience, but the hospitals and the companies prefer for you to have 2 years of experience. And that is because when you show up to these hospitals to basically work for them, they expect you to be able to hit the ground running. So you're gonna get little to no orientation. I wanna say one hospital I went to, I had 0 orientation. They showed me the bathroom, the break room, the supply room, gave me my passwords, and that was it. I was on my own. So my advice to anybody who is considering travel nursing but just don't know if they're quite ready to experience wise, there are 2 things that you can do. One is to complete a skills checklist. Once you go through that skills checklist, you will pretty much have a better understanding of if you are competent or not in your specialty. The other one is ask yourself this question: can I take a full patient assignment with little to no orientation and provide competent care? If you can, great, jump into it. If you can't, then you may want to loop back to that skills checklist and just become more proficient in the areas that you know that you're weak. It's as simple as that. So I do have another YouTube video pretty much going into, or rather explaining, the experience that's needed for travel nursing. So just click on that video and you'll have the answers. It'll explain more about like the skills checklist. So step number 2 is going to be to sign up with a travel agency, and we will move to step 2 after we have completed step 1. So let's transition to step 2, and step 2 is going to be signing up with a travel nurse agency. There are thousands, and I mean thousands, of travel nurse agencies out there, so it can be quite overwhelming and confusing about who to sign up with. Do not get stuck on this step. All right, I am going to repeat that again for the people who did not hear me. Do not get stuck on this step. Choose 3 agencies to work with and move on. Complete your profile with those 3 agencies, and whomever gets you an assignment first, that's who you should work with. Do not get all caught up on trying to find the perfect agency your first assignment. You're not married to them. You can absolutely move on to another agency after you gain experience, because the first assignment is going to be the hardest to land. So choose 3. Whoever finds your contract first, go with them. And then the next go round, we can try to fine tune picking the perfect agency, so to speak, if that actually exists. So once you found those 3, we can move on to step 3, which step 3 is complete your profile with the travel nurse agency. This is going to be a little bit time consuming and redundant because you're going to do it with each one of those agencies that you chose. So you're going to submit an application. You're going to submit basically your resume, your skills checklist. You have to do like some competency exams, and then you have to submit like your medical records, so any immunizations that you have, a physical, things like that. But in order for you to be submitted to the hospital, the only thing that you'll have to submit is an application, so your resume, your certifications, and then have 2 references on board. And that's it. That's all you will actually need to give them in order for them to submit you to a hospital. Easy peasy. So now that we have our profiles completed with the agencies, we are now going to submit to those agencies. So that is step 4, submitting to the hospitals. So when your recruiter submits your profile to the hospital, you're gonna wait and wait and wait and wait to hear back from the hospital in order to have an interview, and that is going to be step 5. So step 5 is interviewing with the hiring manager at that hospital. The phone interview, it can either be automated, meaning you're not talking to a person, you're just talking to a robot, so to speak, or you can actually be having a phone interview with the manager that's actually on the unit. I prefer to have a conversation with the manager as opposed to the automated robot because I can ask questions, and that is the perfect time to get any questions that you have answered, because going through your recruiter to get those answers, things can get lost in translation. So it's just best to go with the source. If you want a list of questions to ask the hiring manager, then you're gonna have to download my travel nurse planner to get that list. All right, so you're gonna interview with the manager, and then after you interview with the manager, you are either going to be offered the position or they're going to decline and move on to the next applicant. But we're not going to think negative, okay? We're going to think positive, and we're going to say you were offered the position. Yay! Congratulations. So now it is time for you to decide if you want to accept or decline, because ultimately it is your decision. You do not have to accept every single contract that's extended to you. But again, we're gonna go with the fact that you accepted this offer, which is going to be step 6, which is accepting the offer. And this is where the work begins, all right? So once you accept the offer, your recruiter is gonna send you a ton of things that you need to get done. Competency exams, drug screens, TB fit test, TB skin test, submitting the actual copies of your certifications, amongst other things. So if there are specific requirements from the hospital, you will do them at that time. Your recruiter will give you a time frame to complete those. Please try to complete them as soon as possible, because if you submit them after the deadline, they can and will push your start date back by a week or more. So to not have your money looking funny, honey, make sure you meet those deadlines for submitting all the compliance documents, okay? So after you accept the offer, your recruiter is gonna have you to sign your contract. That is gonna be the happiest day of your life. Yay! So make sure you read over your contract very thoroughly, okay? If there is something that is in your contract that you do not agree with, then talk to your recruiter to get it fixed, or you may unfortunately have to just pass. But definitely do not sign anything that you are not okay with or that you do not understand. I have another YouTube video out here that you can watch that explains everything that should be and should not be included in your travel nurse contract. Okay? So those are the 7 steps to become a travel nurse. And honestly, I have it written down, so that's why I keep looking. So I'm just gonna run through those 7 steps just to have it there for you. So step number 1 is you wanna become an RN and gain experience. Step 2, you wanna sign up with a travel nurse agency. Step 3, complete your profile with that agency. Step 4, submit to the hospitals through that agency. Step 5, interview with the hiring manager. Step 6, accept their offer, because they are going to extend one to you because you are thebomb.com. And then step 7, you are going to sign your very first travel nurse contract. I am so excited for you guys. If you use these steps to land your first travel nurse contract, make sure you put it in the comments so I can congratulate you and we can celebrate together, because this is such an exciting time. Travel nursing has changed my life, and I know it's going to change yours also. So I hope you learned something in this video. If you didn't, do not worry, because there are going to be more to come. All right?